I am going to show you guys a few things that I like to do with my garlic scapes. So the first thing is, if you have never heard of a garlic scape, you are probably wondering, what the heck is a garlic scape? It is these. So the hardneck varieties of garlic, and only the hardneck varieties, the softneck will not do it, will shoot off this flowering stalk. These ones are all to the point where they really need to get picked. You see they're starting to point upright really. They're going to be blooming sooner rather than later. So I'm going to pick all of what is left. Usually you want to pick them when there's about one curl in them. This one's really close to opening. I'm trying to find one that's not so far gone to show you guys. Here. See, this one kind of has a curl, and they can have multiple curls. Just there's going to be less that's hard. If you're used to like asparagus, you know, the more mature it gets, it will start to get woody. So like all of this down here is woody and hard, and you're not going to want to eat that. And with the big ones that are closer to opening, the more that's going to be woody. So to harvest these, and no matter what stage they're at, I just come through and snap them. Once I go in the house, I can kind of check if there's a bit of woodiness at the bottom still. I'd cut that off and toss it. And then depending if I'm going to saute this or put it on a pizza or something, I will clip off these skinny tops because they get so dry that that's not really going to be good. But for what we're doing today, these will be fine to leave. So I'm going to go through and I'm going to snap off all the remaining ones I have, which is quite a bit. If you grow these and you don't want to eat them, first of all, you want to eat them. They are delicious. But if you don't, you could sell them. They actually sell, I see them for about $8 a pound out here. Otherwise, if you really don't, give them to a friend, compost them, whatever. But you want to take them off because this is sucking energy from your garlic bulbs. So the longer you let these grow, and especially if they bloom, it's just more energy coming from your garlic, and you want big, beautiful garlic. So you don't want to let these kind of ruin that for you. And this is like a bonus harvest that you get. I already have a couple recipes up, which I will make sure to link for you guys, which are my sauteed garlic scapes. Super easy, self-explanatory really, but I just share my, we'll call it a recipe, but not really. Butter, salt, pepper, saute it until it's soft, boom, done. Or I like to put them on like an Alfredo pizza, delicious. But today we are going to make a garlic scape salt, compound butter, and Scape Pesto. So we got a few new things that I will share with you guys to finish off my bounty for the year. Alright, hopefully you can hear me over the AC. This is what I picked today. There's still a few more out there, but this is as much as I feel like dealing with right now. The first thing we are going to make is garlic scape salt. So you will want to, you know, wash, trim, and dehydrate these. I did some ones that I had previously picked in my dehydrator, but you can also do them in your oven on a low temperature and just kind of keep them going until they're dry and crispy. I actually kind of overdid mine. I had them in there with mushrooms at the same time and I forgot about them, which they're still perfectly fine. They're just more brown, if the camera will focus. They're more of a brown color than like a pretty green. If I would have stopped them probably a couple hours sooner, but that's fine. The taste is still going to be the same. I'm just going to grind mine up by hand, but of course you could use a food processor, but this is how simple this is. You need to turn them into a powder and then mix them with salt. There's not really any measuring required. It's up to your personal taste. You know, you could do about a 50-50 mix if you want it to be nice and garlicky flavored, and see how you like that, and then always add more as needed. But I'm going to go ahead and grind this up, and then I will show you what that looks like. Okay, so I've been doing this for a while. I keep adding more in, but it will get to this nice fine powdery consistency if I want to keep working on it, but this is mostly going to be for seasonings for things like spaghettis and such, for me anyway, so I don't mind a couple big chunks. If I really wanted to grind it all down into a powder, I could have a nice garlic scape powder and just leave it like that, but that's not what I'm going for. I'm going to mix a little bit of salt in here, and then bam, I have my garlic scape salt. So there you have it. That's where I am finishing off. Now you would use this basically in place of any garlic salt, because that is really what it tastes like at the end of the day. And remember, whatever consistency you get it to is just up to your personal preference, but that is how easy it is to make garlic scape powder and or garlic scape salt. Okay, for the garlic scape butter and pesto, you are going to want a food processor. This is also super easy, and you can pretty much get 2 recipes for 1 step. For the butter, I am just going to grind this up to the desired size, and then I'm going to mix it up with some softened butter and then let it reharden, and bam, there I've got my nice garlic scape butter. For the garlic scape pesto, you can do this several ways. Now, if you're like me, when you make any sort of pesto, you kind of measure with your heart. I always throw in my basil, my garlic, my olive oil. I almost never have pine nuts because hello, expensive, but I just mix it and then it's good. So you could use the garlic scapes in place of your garlic in a regular basil pesto, or you could use the garlic scapes for the whole thing. It's your garlic, your greens, that's all of it. This is your pesto. You just need to add in your olive oil. That's what I'm going to be doing this time, mostly because I don't have any basil that's ready. So this is going to be a very, very garlicky flavored pesto, but it will be good, and it's that easy, guys. All right, this is the same thing. I am measuring with my heart, scooping in the amount that I would like with my butter, and then I'm gonna mix it together, and then I've got my nice compound garlic scape butter. How easy that was, and how beautiful. I would use this anywhere that I actually make up like minced garlic butter all the time for Texas toast or cheesy bread. I like it to be a garlicky cheesy bread. Anything that you would want to use a garlicky butter for, because the garlic scape obviously tastes like garlic. If you're not going to use this within a couple days, I would go ahead and just put it in the freezer. Since it is fresh greens in there, you don't want them to start going bad and spoiling the whole thing. Now I need to throw in a few more scapes in here because I couldn't fit them all, and then we're going to add in the olive oil and turn this into my scape pesto. Measuring with my heart. That's how 90% of my cooking goes, guys. Alright, here we have it, our garlic scape butter, salt, and pesto. The kids are actually asking if we can eat the pesto for dinner. That was not the plan, but we'll see, because they're starving apparently, and they love pesto, so who knows, it might all get eaten. I was gonna store it in the freezer for the winter, but I don't know if it's gonna make it that long.